everybody, and welcome to the special Christmas edition of Quarantunes. My name is Steve Schnee.
And I'm Matthew Street.
And we are going to talk about some of our favorite Christmas albums. In fact, we both picked our top 5 favorite Christmas albums to discuss. This is a very, very, very tough time in all of our lives during the pandemic. And we just wanted to share the excitement, the joy of the holidays with you, and maybe offer some suggestions for music to purchase that will hopefully make your season bright. You know, without any further ado, I'm not going to get into any more ninny-nanny nonsense. I'm just going to turn it right over to Matthew Street, and he's going to pick his 5th favorite Christmas album. Go ahead, Matthew.
Well, thank you, Stephen, and a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that
Happy
good
holidays.
stuff to you. So
Merry
happy
Christmas.
to be with you again after so long. It's been a pleasure to have done Quarantunes during 2020 with you, and I'm happy to be back with you. So
absolutely.
My number 5 pick is The Ventures Christmas album. Folks, I have to pick this one. The Ventures are my most favorite instrumental rock and roll band of all time. I love them. I have almost everything by them. And this album, folks, if you want an uplifting, happy, bouncy, fun Christmas album, you need the Ventures Christmas album. It's fabulous. You can get it on vinyl, CD, whatever you want. This little package is great because you get both the mono and the stereo versions, folks. You're getting bang for your buck here. You're getting like 24 tracks, mono, stereo. They sound fabulous. And folks, this will put a smile on your face. We need that right now. And I'm a big Christmas junkie. I know Steve is. And this, folks, had to be in my top 5. I love it, love it, love it to death.
That was in my top 5, but I know how big of a Ventures fan you are, so I knew you were going to talk about it. I love that album. It's so filled with joy, and because rock and roll is really about joy. I mean, there's the darker rock and roll that brings out that primal evil energy in you, but then this, you know, something like the Ventures, because it does really, even though it's rock and roll instrumental, it does really have the heart of Christmas right in the middle of that album, and it's just fantastic. Well, my 5th favorite is, and this isn't cheating, because I could have chose any one of these 5, but it just so happens they all come in one package. And this is the Johnny Mathis, the complete Christmas collection. And this contains, it's 5 albums on 3 CDs. So whatever era of Johnny Mathis you love, it's here. Every Johnny Mathis Christmas song that you've heard is here. And Johnny Mathis, like Andy Williams and like you know, some of the other artists, their voice is so emotional that it, you know, the feeling of Christmas, the joy of Christmas really comes out in the songs and their interpretations, and it's really fantastic. So that was my number 5.
What a voice that man has, I'll tell you. It's like smooth as silk.
Absolutely. So what is your number 4?
All righty. My number 4 is kind of a sentimental one to me. This was one of the first Christmas albums I ever bought on my own. Parents, notwithstanding all the stuff they got me into when I was a little kid. But when I was a young teenager, 13 or so, I went out and I bought a Rocky Mountain Christmas by John Denver. This was John's first Christmas album, and it is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Now, on one side, you're getting traditional religious type Christmas music like Silent Night, Away in a Manger, and that type of thing. But the other side is like the fun, rollicking Christmas side. That's where you're getting like, you know, Please Daddy, Don't Get Drunk This Christmas, and other gems like that. Aspen Glow. You're getting like more of a pop orientated Christmas side on side A, and then side B is the traditional religious type Christmas music, which we all know and love. And I had the opportunity to see John live several times when he was still with us.
Oh, wow.
It was always a wonderful treat to see him. And one of my favorite, I guess you would call it, easy listening artists of all time, pop artist. I love his music. I love his Christmas album. And this will always be a favorite in my household.
My 4th favorite, I'm going to be cheating a little bit here. Now, of course, all of us, when we were kids, that's really when we experience the joy of Christmas. I think some of us let go of that, and some of us we embrace it all of our lives because it reminds us, there's nostalgia in it, and there's joy, and there's peace, and there's comfort in it as well. But and a lot of this music that I'm talking about is stuff that I still find comforting and peaceful and joyful. But I'm gonna just focus just real quick on. I just pulled what I consider my childhood favorites, and that is going to just be a few CDs. Two of them are related. First one, of course, is Christmas with the Chipmunks. And this is like silver foil, like the original LP was.
Beautiful package.
Yes, it absolutely is. Now, the thing about this is I only liked the Chipmunks when it was David Seville, Ross Bagdasarian. And I didn't care for the stuff in the 80s. Sure, yeah, or the 70s, whatever. Sure, I have chipmunk punk somewhere. But it was really the stuff in the 60s that mattered. And this, I believe, might have been released the year I was born, 63, or maybe even the year or two before that. But it's absolutely a fabulous one. And then, of course, I had the soundtrack to the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Thing about this, though, is it has all the songs and some of the dialogue, but then the second half of it is just like an instrumental suite of Christmas songs that are completely unrelated to the release. Right. And to go along with this one, see, I'm cheating, is Rudolph, Frosty, and Friends' favorite Christmas songs. And this is like a best of song. Oh, there you go.
Not in my top 5, folks. I'm just supporting Steve here.
Okay. I mean, I'm still a child at heart.
Okay. No, great pick, Steve. I mean, talking about our childhood, there it is right there with those 2 CDs.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get a little more modern with my next pick. This is a band maybe a little known, but if you're a subscriber or a viewer to my channel, you will be very familiar with them because they're one of my favorite bands of all time. And that's the Gripweeds, Under the Influence of Christmas by the Gripweeds. This, folks, is a wonderful, wonderful Christmas album. If you've never, I'm sure many of you have not heard of it, but folks, I can't highly recommend this album enough. The Gripweeds take some Christmas classics and they do them in their unique power pop 60s psych rock style, and they do them justice. They sound fabulous. And they also take their own originals and make those into some Christmas classics. And they also have some original Christmas music on here. It's a fabulous album, folks. This is the kind of album that it doesn't have to be Christmas and you can enjoy it. I'm sure you're familiar with albums like that, Steve. It could be the middle of July and you could put this album on and really rock and groove to it and enjoy it. It's that good of an album. And at Christmas time, it is well worth your time. Again, it's the Gripweeds. Okay. Under the Influence of Christmas. And folks, you cannot go wrong. You'll thank me for it.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to interrupt this for just for a second. Stay on the line here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have a special guest.
Oh yeah.
He's filled with razzle dazzle. He's one of the most positive, uplifting, greatest songwriters in America today. He is a Texas troubadour, and his name is Danny Wilkerson.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Wilkerson.
Danny Wilkerson. Wow. Awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Good. What an honor to have you here.
Well, it's good to see you.
Yeah. Last time I saw you was in New York City at the Bitter End for your big show. Yeah, that was a blast.
That was a fun night, man. I'll be glad when those days return.
One of the yeah, I can't wait because I tell you that was one of the best shows in a long time.
You know, I thought I'd bring Danny on because first off, Danny wrote a great Christmas song that they released under the name The Penguins. And after the show, for the audience, I'm going to play that song. So after this episode or after this Christmas episode of Quarantunes, you're going to be able to hear the Penguins Christmas song, which was performed by that gentleman there wearing the hat. It's usually Matt wearing the hat. But
I said I wear a jacket and a hat and everything. If I'm going to be impotent, I might as well look impotent.
Yeah, you look pretty spiffy looking there.
Old joke.
Yeah. Now, Danny, we're here talking about Christmas music, the things that we've talked about already, like I've already talked about like the Chipmunks and Frosty and stuff, and I've talked about Johnny Mathis, and Matthew's already talked about the Gripweeds.
John Denver's Rocky Mountain Christmas and the Ventures Christmas album.
Now,
Wow.
Since we have you here, do you have any particular favorites?
I do. I can race through them real quick. I know y'all are probably going to talk about yours more in detail. But,
please do. I mean, that's why
one
you're
of-
here. You're a special guest.
One of my faves is this one right here.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Frank Sinatra's Jolly Christmas. There you go.
Yeah.
I love this, and most everybody in my family now has a copy of this because we all love it. So it's just a great record. I'm a giant Sinatra fan anyway.
Mhm.
I have so much Sinatra in my collection. It's crazy. But yeah, this is a great one.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful album.
We grew up with that. Yeah, I have to buy the Holly Jolly Christmas CD then, because that.
And this is cool because this is the half-speed master.
Yeah.
This is the mobile.
That's a great version.
Yeah, it's just a great pressing.
Yeah. What else you have, Danny?
I love this one. Y'all probably brought this one up. I don't have this one vinyl. This is a great one. So
I love that
one
so much.
I love that one.
yeah, this is a great one. One that I have to throw out there because I'm related to somebody in it is this. And I have to hold up a piece of paper because it's just digital.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you can get it on iTunes or whatever, but it's not expensive, but it's got 6 songs. It's great. And I think they even wrote a new middle 8 to like the Drummer Boy and some stuff like that. So
Well, why don't you tell people?
What is that? I'd be
it's
interested.
Green River Ordinance. And you can, they've got a lot of records out, but you can
Yes.
get it on iTunes, Amazon, anywhere. But it's Green River Ordinance Christmas.
Cool.
Yeah. Matthew, unless you didn't know, Danny's son is a member of Green River Ordinance. I think
That's
it's
fabulous.
his name is Chet or Skip.
Joshua.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Gotcha.
I met Joshua about 1.5 years ago. Beautiful human being, just like Danny.
I would
Thank you. Well, they're a
definitely
great band.
be interested in checking that out. Absolutely.
I'm kind of going in order from up to my number 1 record.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is the one we play on repeat every Christmas. This is on for it. We run through this probably 3 times before we finally go, okay, let's put on something else. And I have multiple copies of this. I have the remastered version on CD, but
me too.
I have backups of this just in case,
Let's see.
George
Wyndham
Winston's
Hill, correct?
December. That's a great record.
December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one we listen to probably more than anything, and I've turned more people onto it, and it's just great background music, is River Tribe.
Oh, wow.
They're an Australian band, and it's kind of like, it's almost like trance music a little bit, but it's got the didgeridoo and all these Australian instruments. If you like Peter Gabriel, like his real world artist, this is fantastic. It's just, you can just put it on in the background and it's just great. People are opening gifts or eating dinner or whatever. There's not lyrics or anything on most of it. So it's just great music. But anyway, River Tribe, it's a good one.
You know what? I knew this was going to happen. Okay. I have to interrupt you just for a second because wherever Danny goes, Lanny follows.
Hey.
How you
Ho,
doing?
ho, ho.
Hey, Lanny. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to Danny. Danny came on. He's been showing us some of his Christmas stuff. And Danny just showed River Tribe. Was River Tribe your number 1, or are you still heading up to the top there?
No, River Tribe was my number 1, but I have a bonus album that has nothing to do with Christmas, but it reminds me of Christmas. So I play it every year at Christmas time, and it gets me in the Christmas spirit. It's weird enough, but it's Grand Funk Railroad's Closer to Home album.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I don't know why. I think this came out in June or July when it originally came out, but for some reason, I always think of Christmas when I hear this record. So it's bizarre, man. That's just the kind of guy I am, though.
First off, Lanny, you're allowed to drink alcohol on the show. Go ahead. I saw you almost take a drink.
This is for medicinal purposes only.
Okay.
Oh, I have some in the background here. Maybe I ought to get me a glass.
Yeah, there you go.
You might as well, Danny. Christmas of 1980. The Jam sound effects was import only at that time. It wasn't coming out to the U.S. until 1981. So one day after I got home from school, nobody was home. I went into my parents' closet and went through all the Christmas gifts to make sure that I got a copy of the Jams album Sound Effects. And I was totally pleased to see it. So that album totally reminds me of Christmas.
Did you act
Absolutely.
totally surprised when you got it?
Oh, they didn't care. I think they were probably drinking eggnog and rum or they're just going like, oh, we're tired. Because, you know, when you're a kid, I mean, even though at that point I was, that was in 1980. So, so I had already, I already
45.
turned, yeah, I already turned 17. So we're sitting there going, Mom, Dad, is Santa here? You know, because that's what they wanted to hear. They, you know, when we were kids, that's it. You know, we were up at 3 o'clock in the morning wanting to go out and open presents. And then by the time we were 16, 17, 18, my mom was going, I miss those days. So we're standing there at the doorway going, Mom, Dad, has Santa been here? Lanny, do you have any Christmas, you know, some of your favorite Christmas music that you want to either share or talk about?
No, no, we didn't celebrate Christmas at our house, so. No,
We could show some for him. We can let you know.
Yeah.
Monkey. How about the monkeys?
I got that one.
the one that I listened to probably the most was the Charlie Brown one growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably already had that one on your.
Actually, Danny and Matt, well, I have it too, but I totally forgot about it because it's not with my Christmas music. It's with my Vince Guaraldi section up on the wall.
Yeah.
Love this one.
Yeah.
Good one.
That's a good one. Also,
Man, it's good.
we used to get these. I thought they were from Firestone, but maybe they were from Goodyear, and it had like different people, like Andy Williams stuff on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like these. And
Oh,
it was a fun product. But anyway, this is a later one. I couldn't find the ones from when I was a little kid, but they were red, you know, and all the stars were around, you know.
Yeah, they were like $1. They were like $1.98 at Firestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even that much, I don't think.
I was just thinking some of the themes on Lanny's recent Home album fit well with the holidays too.
Yeah,
Beautiful album, beautiful sentiments on that album.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, do you guys happen to have a copy of each of your album handy that you can show people?
I happen to have both with me if you'd like to see them.
Yeah.
Both your albums have been a big impact on my life. I love both of them.
Danny's album was my favorite album, 2018.
Yep, mine too.
That's a great one. Sorry, I didn't. And then mine from last year. It's already in the cutout bin, but I think you can find one.
which is my favorite album, 2019. Yeah. You know, the thing is, okay, Matt, Danny, and Lanny. Okay, I know these two. Well, I know all three of you, but I've actually met Lanny and Danny, and hung with them. I've actually hung with these guys.
I know, you're lucky.
And
I get to meet them in New York City and hang with them for a little bit.
Yeah, but you didn't play leapfrog with them like I did.
No, I didn't do that. No, I got a hug from Danny, so that was
there. You go.
Yeah, well, these guys, I'm so proud that they pretend to be my friends.
Well, we're good at acting. I mean, I don't know why.
For the audience that aren't familiar, Lanny Flowers and Danny, Lanny, wave your hand just in case people forgot who you were. Okay, that's Lanny. Danny, that's Danny. Are two of the most talented singer-songwriters of our generation. Truly, don't throw them into power pop. Just if you just love guitar-laced, wonderful, beautiful melodies and honest lyrics, these are two gentlemen that you really need to listen to. And like I said, you're going to be able to hear not only Danny's Christmas song at the end of this episode that was released under the name the Penguins. You're also going to be able to hear Lanny's Christmas song too. So this is a jam-packed episode full of great Christmas joy. What I wanted to bring up is there's a brand new digital single, and it's a charity single, and the proceeds go to the homeless. at the in the item card, the description card of this video, I will have the address to download the single, and it'll have all the information. But what can you tell us about that, Danny and Lanny?
Craig from Orbis Max contacted us about collaborating on a song. And so he sent over some stems, bass track, guitar track, keyboard track, and the title, One of a Kind. And basically said, go with it. Do whatever you want. You can change the title if you want. I called Laney. We ended up working the lyric, adding a bunch of tracks, and coming up with the melody and all that. And Laney did his magic in the studio, and there we are.
Yeah, it's a wonderful slice of pop, and it's also it goes for a good cause, which really kind of shows the type of people these guys are, putting their great creative talent into a song that they don't make any money from. Unfortunately, I have to pay them $100 a piece to appear on this episode of Quarantunes. So that's how they're making the money.
That's not what I agreed to,
but Lanny, that Firestone record that you had,
yeah,
the red one, did you retire it?
I don't know. My sister might have it or something. Oh,
that was a bad pun.
That was
sorry.
Firestone. It took me 45 seconds to get that
right.
one. Yeah.
So it's right over your head. I mean, I had a couple other things, but
show us. No, we want to know. Well, inquiring Christmas minds want to know.
The obvious ones are it's the John Lennon one.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Great one.
On the green vinyl.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I mean, I have them separate sleeves because I'm a nerd. then of course, the NRBQ Christmas record. That's always,
yeah.
Nice.
That's a fun one if you can find it. But the other thing is what Danny was talking about. These two albums remind me of Christmas because I got them for Christmas. Is Rubber Soul.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And the White Album. So
wow.
Nice.
So
nice.
The two albums always remind me of Christmas. And this Christmas record doesn't remind me of Christmas at all.
Oh, that's a great one. I have that album. I have that vinyl. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Every year I purchase at least a couple of Christmas products. I mean, CDs or albums every year. So I have this huge amount, but I really just always go back to the same ones.
Yeah,
to
like
listen
a core group.
On repeat. Yeah. But I'd buy something every year. And I don't know if you finished talking about your choices yet.
Not yet.
Mention it, but I bought one that you had turned me on to. I literally
awesome.
Bought a new copy of it. So.
Oh, did you? Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Black Sabbath Christmas record?
No, it went a little bit harder than that.
Okay.
Okay. Now that Danny's going to get himself a drink, we're going to continue, and I'm going to show you my third favorite. And again, right. I like to cheat when it comes to showing CDs and talking about Christmas music, because I literally went through, I think I've got about maybe 150 different Christmas CDs. So I had to go through them all and choose the ones that, the ones that really mean a lot to me. Now, we all grew up listening to Andy Williams. Now, this right here contains all of his Christmas recordings on 2 CDs. So, anything that you've heard by Andy Williams, in the department store, in an elevator, on your radio, all the Christmas songs are here. These are the classic ones. But also one that I wanted to point out, which is truly an amazing, amazing record connected to Andy Williams. And it's the Williams Brothers Christmas album. Now, this came out in 1970. And this is truly astonishing because those 4 voices together. Now, everybody knows just when siblings get together and sing, there's a magic that happens. This has the single most beautiful version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas on it, which is just stunning. And Andy doesn't take the lead on all of it, but he's there because you know his voice. His I think he's a tenor. Is that right, Danny and Lanny? I don't know. Baritone is low, so tenor's higher. So he's a tenor. Yeah. So you hear his voice throughout, singing the harmonies, and it's lush and it's wonderful. And it is the Williams Brothers Christmas album. And that is my number 3 choice Matthew goes for his number 2 choice now.
That is definitely a keeper for sure. And I just have to say, I love Andy too. He's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little rocky here, rock and roll here. It's only a couple of few years old, but it's shot right up to in my top 10 or so, and it's definitely in my top 5 this year. And it's Christmas Christmas by Cheap Trick.
All right.
What a fun, rollicking, joyous Christmas album. Again, like the Gripweeds album, Steve, this album you can listen to in the middle of July, April. It doesn't matter what time of year. You can get into this album and truly enjoy it because they just rock on this album. I mean, they do a version of Chuck Berry's Run, Run, Rudolph that will just knock your socks off. It's just, the whole thing is just so great and it's so fun. I love it to death. And I highly recommend Christmas Christmas by Cheap Trick.
So I'm going to go to my number 2, and I was just telling Danny about this last night, well, via email. New Christy Minstrels, Merry Christmas. We grew up listening to this album. It was released the year I was born, 1963. It's that big folk band. I believe Barry McGuire's in the band. Also, one of the guys from the Association is who would eventually go to the Association is in the band. The original album, Merry Christmas, doesn't have any of the classic songs on it. It has like folkier songs, religious songs. So it doesn't have like, Santa Claus Coming to Town. It has Go Tell It on the Mountain, things like that. Just joyous because it's all these voices and all these instruments. It's mostly acoustic, and it's just really fun, and it has that Christmas feeling. But the CD actually also contains their second Christmas album, and that's more of the classic Christmas stuff, but it's that same folky, big, boisterous, wonderful sound. And I always tend to go for that Christmas, but that's my number 2. So now Matthew's going to tell us his number 1 favorite Christmas album, his number 1 recommendation for Quarantunes to bring joy to people's lives.
Well, it's kind of going to be a twofer, Steve, if you don't mind, similar to what you did earlier, because this is my
I'm the host of the show. I get to do that.
But this is my sentimental, emotional pick. This one goes back to my young childhood in the early 60s, coming through the late 60s into the 70s, and up until I lost all my grandparents during the 80s and lost my mom 2 years ago, not to bring this down. But one of the joyous times I ever had was when I was a little kid and listening to the Ray Conniff Christmas albums, which my dad was a big, or still is, my dad's still with us, thank God. He loves Ray Conniff. He turned the family on to Ray Conniff and his music. And these 2 albums right here were on the turntable all the time, every year, from as early as I can remember, around 62, 63, up until even today. I brought the tradition into my family, and it's just so heartwarming whenever I hear these albums. It takes me back to my childhood with my mom, my dad, my grandparents, the whole family together. And unfortunately, as we all know, well, I'm sorry, life goes on, and you lose people that mean so much to you, love. And thank goodness we have the joy of music in our hearts and souls that can still keep those memories alive. And I'm sorry to get like this. But,
amen to that. No,
this is my number 1 because this reminds me of a time when my family were all here and together, and I miss them all.
By the way, brother Matthew, I love you.
Love you too, man.
Okay. But look what I had in this was originally in my stack, but I knew Matt was going to talk about it. This is now available. It's Ray Conniff, and it contains those 2 albums and a third album as well. So this has all the Ray Conniff.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Christmas recordings. And there's a special song I wanted to tell the viewers about. There's a song that they do. It's a medley, and it's Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Count Your Blessings, and I think Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It's magical because Count Your Blessings is not a Christmas song. But to this very day, just as Matt experienced a few moments ago, I get very emotional when I hear that song because there is so much joy and love and looking back. And like I said, it's not a Christmas song, but it fits so wonderfully well.
It fits beautifully. Yeah.
There's a song like that on this record. This is James Taylor's Christmas record. And really, there's a song called "Some Children See Him," and I mean, the whole buying the thing is, worth the price just for that one song.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I love James Taylor. This is a cool album, but I don't listen to the whole thing a lot. But I've taken that track and made my own playlist, and it's on just about every Christmas playlist I have. So.
But here we go. We're going to go with my number one. This is the album that every year from 1968 until all of us kids had moved out. Remember how I told you how we'd wait in our rooms and my parents would have to go make sure everything was arranged properly. They'd have to turn on the Christmas lights, and then they put the needle down on the record and said, "Come out, kids." And the album that played when we walked out to open our, to look at the tree and open our stockings and open presents was the Glenn Campbell Christmas album. Now this isn't the cover of it. The cover is the original album was called That Christmas Feeling, and that album has been sort of reissued a few times, like for like the 10 or 15 years after it came out, and they would take off a song and add something new or something. And this CD here, or I guess Glenn was in his Elvis phase at this point.
Oh yeah, I got the jumpsuit and everything.
Yeah, but all the songs that he recorded for Christmas, so like the first 11 songs on this are the album That Christmas Feeling, and everything after that is all stuff that was recorded or released after. And if you love classic Glenn Campbell, Wichita Lineman, Galveston, Where's the Playground, Susie, whatever. If you like those songs, then that's the sound.
Yeah.
And it's not all standards. He does Roger Miller's Old Toy Trains. He does a song called Christmas is for Children, which really should be a standard by now. And it's really a wonderful, beautiful piece of music that I think everybody should own. In fact, I don't know if Matt has any version of this, but I know Danny said he just ordered one. So
I did that. There's a song in there called "No Snow on the Roof." I think that's a really great song.
Yeah, this thing is just jam packed. And just real fast, Matt, just show us real quick.
I'll flip through them fast. Yep.
Yeah. Some of your
honorable mentions.
Yeah, honorable mentions.
Okay, Carpenters.
Oh yeah,
this album. Sing along with Mitch Miller and the Gang.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
Be Santa.
Landy mentioned this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra.
Andy
Williams, certainly. The Monkees, Christmas Party is a great little album, folks. Just come out. Got to mention Ringo's Christmas album, being a Beatles fanatic that I am. And connected with the Beatles, Lawrence Juber, who used to be a member of Wings, has a great album called Winter.
Huh. Oh, nice. I don't have it.
Winter Guitar. And last but not least, Beach Boys. Anything by the Beach Boys Christmas is always fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Those are my honorables.
And here are my honorable mentions. Bucks Fizz, which is the only later period stuff. This is a great, fun, joyful Christmas album that came out in 2018.
One of my new favorites.
And of course, Matthew just showed that. I'm surprised that Matt didn't show anything, but of course, The King.
Yeah, I didn't.
Two different compilations.
I think because I have him on vinyl, so I don't have any CDs.
Okay. And if you guys love exotica and lounge from like the 50s and 60s, these Christmas cocktails, part 1 and 2, full of kooky, wonderful, out of sight, outer space, space age Christmas music. It's just absolutely fabulous. There is, of course, my Carpenters. Who can forget Nat?
Mm-hmm. And then Nat King Cole. That's a good one.
Yeah, and then finally, White Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Classic, Bing Crosby.
I've had a absolutely wonderful time discussing this Christmas music. A lot of my friends are like, I hate Christmas, stuff like that. It's just like, no, it's a weird thing to say, but it's where my mom and dad live. It's where my grandpa and grandpa live. I did an interview this weekend, and I explained that like every song I listen to, I have like a little ribbon and I attach a memory to it, and I just let the song go. And when that song comes back, it brings back that memory. When I listen to Count Your Blessings by Ray Conniff, I'm suddenly reminded of this big console stereo that my mom used to play the records on, and listening to that while she was like decorating the house, or maybe yelling at us to take out the trash, things like that. I'm always attaching new memories to it. So now whenever I think about these songs, I'm going to think about sitting here with three great friends and talking about Christmas music.
I just want to say the same thing. I mean, not only having you here, Steve, but I can't thank you enough for bringing these two wonderful musicians and people here tonight with me. This is something I never expected. Very special. I love both. Their music is fabulous. Certainly the Wilkerson album, the Home album. I just want to thank the two of you for being so kind to my son and I in New York City at that big show. That was a blast. You both were so generous, genuine. You signed autographs for us. You took pictures with us. You made us feel like $1 million that night. And so you're two fine gentlemen. I hope someday to meet you. I hope someday to meet my friend Steve in person, but I certainly can't wait to see you both again out there on the road. So thanks, Lanny and Danny, and thank you, Steve, for doing this.
The way that I describe them, they are ordinary men with extraordinary talents.
Ordinary men, yeah.
By the way, I think I'm a tenor singer. Earlier, people would ask me if I sing tenor, and I said, I don't know. If they asked me if I could sing tenor 11 miles away.
We are going to wrap up this special jam-packed episode of a Quarantunes Christmas.
Quarantunes.
We've been having a great time here. Of course, my buddy Matthew Street and my buddies Danny Wilkerson and Lanny Flowers. It is an honor to call you all my friend. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to stick around, and you're going to hear two great Christmas songs, one written and performed by Danny Wilkerson, and one written and performed by Lanny Flowers. I appreciate you, all of you, for watching, and I appreciate you, Matthew and Danny and Lanny, and Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Matt,
so happy to see you all.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time on Quarantunes.
All right.
Leaves are falling off the trees and dancing cold December breeze. There's excitement in the air, no other time of year compares. Outside they're stringing up the lights while others decorate inside. Can you feel it? It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time when we celebrate together. Christmas time. Wish we could be this way forever. 'Cause when we all treat one another like a sister or a brother, it's wonderful. It's Christmas time. Children laugh without a care as they wrap gifts they want to share. Shout out your favorite Christmas song. Everybody sing along. It's Christmas time when we celebrate together. It's Christmas time. Wish we could be this way forever. 'Cause when we all treat one another like a sister or a brother, it's wonderful. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. We celebrate together. It's Christmas time. We could be this way forever. When we all treat one another like a sister or a brother, it's wonderful. It's Christmas time. We celebrate together. It's Christmas time. We could be this way forever. When we all love one another like a sister or a brother, it's wonderful. It's Christmas time. We celebrate together. It's Christmas time. We could be this way forever. When we all love one another. Christmas Day. Everything's gonna be okay when we're together. You know it's so much better for me. There's nothing I can do, 'cause it's been such a long, long time. 'Cause it wouldn't be Christmas without you. I shouldn't feel sorry sitting here all alone, 'cause I know that you're gonna be home on Christmas Day. Oh, I can't hardly wait, because it's almost Christmas night, and I know it'll be alright when I'm around you, 'cause it's not Christmas without you.